Pascal. You are now rocking with that dude Pascal. We be going wild, Haitian in the building, so original. Got the haters catching feelings. Get your hands up to the ceiling and keep them held high. Cause St. Louis isn't ready. Forget about it, goodbye. Hold on, we just saying hi. Five somebody, rise up. Weekdays, catch us live. Somebody, let's go.
Good evening. Good morning and good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the Pascal Show. Hope you guys all doing well out there. Hope the show finds you in good spirits because another day above the dirt is always a blessing. We got something that I just heard about just a little bit ago. And you guys got to come in here pretty quick because apparently it's going to be happening. And I don't know if it's going to be happening on time, but it's going to be happening very shortly, fairly shortly from now. So had to, make sure I had a few things set up and get a few things ready for this conversation. But wow, we do have something very interesting going on today or tonight. We have Charlie Kirk's wife speaking for the first time since this tragedy. I am very curious. I'm very curious about what she's going to say. Okay? I am very curious about that. But do me a favor before we get into everything. All right? Hit that like button down below. Crush it. Do it a do. Hit that reaction button. If you're watching on other platforms, that'd be greatly appreciated. Okay? Go and check out those other platforms. Hit that follow button, etc. I'm on Facebook, X/Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Rumble, Twitch, Kick. I'm on all of them. So make sure you're following. Okay, make sure you're subscribing here on my channel, please and thank you. Hit that join button down below, become a member, check out my Patreon, check out my locals, and of course, check out PascalMerch.com, baby. Okay, we got some things we got to get into. Things are moving fast. Let's just say that. But they say that this weekend, they are laying Charlie Kirk to rest this very weekend. So there will be a funeral. I don't know. I may, if it's live streamed, I may watch it. I may watch a little bit of it. I don't know yet. I haven't really made a decision on whether or not I'm going to do that. But nonetheless, one thing is for sure. The wife is speaking here in just a little bit. Of course, she's going to be speaking out. And here's the other thing too. You got to understand, and I hope she realizes too, because I understand she's grieving, and I'm surprised she's coming and speaking so soon. But I think she needs to realize that this is a very sensitive moment right now, and anything that she could say could spark something out there in the streets. I hope that we'll see what happens. I'm not sitting here saying that she's a volatile person and that she's going to want violence out in these streets, but I feel that everyone's going to be really hanging on every single breath, right? Every single syllable that comes out of her mouth, just to be completely honest. So I'm just hoping everything's good, okay? And I'm sure that's not her, but I'm just saying it out loud because, you know how it is. People get upset. People get enraged. She just lost the love of her life, the father of her 2 children, her husband, her everything, the man that she called baby, the man that she loves and cares for, okay? Had first experiences with, bringing children into the world, getting married, all those things, right? You think that this is your forever person, and then you lose that person. That is shocking. That could make people enraged. Okay? So I'm not sitting here saying that she would say anything mean. I'm just saying people are crazy. I'm not saying she is. I'm just saying people who are listening are crazy. So it is a very tough moment right now. And things can be misinterpreted, so on and so forth. So I'm just interested to see what she's going to say. That's all. I'm just very interested to see what she's going to say. This is very soon. This is very soon. But it does show you what kind of woman she is. It's pretty powerful, pretty strong to step forward after something like this happening to your husband, right? The love of your life, the father of your children, your partner for life. Takes a lot. Takes a lot of balls, man. Takes a lot of guts, especially when it's such a high profile situation, if that makes any sense. And you know the nation is listening. That's what I mean. Okay. So this is just some crazy stuff. Okay. So we'll see what happens here. Let's see. Yeah, everything's muted. I guess she's going to be coming out here soon. And then after, we got a few updates revolving around Tyler Robinson, the suspect in this whole situation. We will be chopping it up about him because there's a bunch of other updates that have gone on. So we will be talking about that here soon. And I will say in the chat, everyone, please be respectful. Be adults. Okay? Be adults. That's it. I guess while we wait, man, we are living in some crazy ass times, y'all. Man, are we living in some crazy ass times. And of course, there's more and more information coming out. They believe there's a possibility that there is another assailant, or not assailant, but another person that could have been helping Tyler in this whole situation. That's something that law enforcement is probing right now. This is just something I saw right before I got started with this show, started with this live. Apparently, there, like I said, if you saw my most recent pop-up video, the most recent video I did talking about how, just giving more background story of what led to this guy getting arrested, the things that we're hearing, okay, the things that we're hearing right now, it sounds like, at least to me, that this guy did not operate alone. Now, I don't know about these other guys that were in the room, you know, doing the hat signals and all that. I don't know about any of that. I don't know about Larry David when he was sitting there saying like, it was me, I did it. You know what I mean? The old guy that they got and the other old guy they got down the street, okay, with his pellet rifle. I don't know if they, you know, I don't know if they are bad actors, a part of this whole thing to take down Charlie Kirk. But I do know, but we do know that that monster, Tyler Robinson, was in conversation on some sort of chatting app, conversating with people online. Now, were those people there and activated to turn on their decoy, to become decoys and a distraction after he pulled the trigger? Maybe. And maybe did he meet those people online? And they said, yeah, we'll be right there, brother. We'll be right there, brother. Wait for it, brother. When the time drops, we'll be right there, brother. Maybe. We don't have an answer for it yet. We really don't. We really do not have an answer for that yet. But they do believe that he was connected with somebody, that there's somebody else that was helping him with the situation. Excuse me. There's no way he went up there, knew to go to that particular area, climb up on that particular building, get on that particular roof, aim on that particular ledge. There's just no way. There's just no way. To me, there's more to this. Yeah, sorry about that. To me, there's something else going on here. Now, I could be the only one thinking that, but it looks like the police are looking into it too. And I'm going to say this too, and I said it in my video. I'm very glad that this person, this monster, was not neutralized. You want to know why I'm happy this person is not neutralized? Because if he was neutralized, that's where it stops. And if there are other people that helped him put together the whole thing, we would never know. They would start this all over again. So here she is. Let's rock and roll. Get those likes up if you can.
Good evening. My name is Erica Kirk. Charlie Kirk is my husband. I first want to thank the local, state, and federal law enforcement who worked tirelessly to capture my husband's assassin so that he can be brought to justice. I want to thank the first responders who struggled heroically to save Charles's life, and the police who acted bravely to make sure that there were no other victims on that terrible afternoon. I want to thank the officers who have protected our Turning Point USA family these past 2 days. And I want to thank the Turning Point USA board, the COO, Justin Strife, and my husband's chief of staff, the amazing Mikey McCoy, for all their work in these terrible days to be the stability for our family and for the wider Turning Point USA family as well. My heart is with every one of my husband's employees who lost a friend and a mentor. I want to thank the staffers of his amazing Charlie Kirk show, who helped him broadcast from this studio, this chair. Every day he loved it. He loved what he did. I want to thank the millions of people who have shown their love for Charlie here in Phoenix, across America, and worldwide. I want to thank my husband's dear friend, Vice President Vance, and his phenomenal wife, Usha, for their love and support. You guys honored my husband so well, bringing him home. You both are tremendous. I want to thank President Trump and his incredible family for the same. Mr. President, my husband loved you. And he knew that you loved him too. He did. Your friendship was amazing. You supported him so well, as did he for you. 2 days ago, my husband, Charlie, went to see the face of his Savior and his God. Charlie always said that when he was gone, he wanted to be remembered for his courage and for his faith. And one of the final conversations that he had on this earth, my husband witnessed for his Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Now and for all eternity, he will stand at his Savior's side, wearing the glorious crown of a martyr. Charlie loved life. He loved his life. He loved America. He loved nature, which helped him always bring him closer to God. He loved the Chicago Cubs. And my goodness, did he love the Oregon Ducks. Want me to say go Ducks, so I have to since they play on Saturday. So go Ducks. But most of all, Charlie loved his children, and he loved me with all of his heart. And I knew that. Every day I knew that. He made sure I knew that every day. Every day he would ask me, how can I serve you better? How can I be a better husband? How can I be a better father? Every day. Every day. Such a good man. He still is a good man. He was the perfect father. He was the perfect husband. Charlie always believed that God's design for marriage and the family was absolutely amazing, and it is. It is, and it was the greatest joy of his life. And over, he would tell all these young people to come and find their future spouse, become wives and husbands and parents. And the reason why is because he wanted you all to experience what he had and still has. He wanted everyone to bring heaven into this earth through love and joy that comes from raising a family. It's beautiful. Charlie always said that if he ever ran for office, I know a lot of you asked if he ever was going to, but privately he told me if he ever did run for office that his top priority would be to revive the American family. That was his priority. One of Charlie's favorite Bible verses was Ephesians 5, verse 25. Husbands, love your wives as Christ loved the church and gave himself up for her. My husband laid down his life for me, for our nation, for our children. He showed the ultimate and true covenantal love. I will never, ever have the words to describe the loss that I feel in my heart. I honestly have no idea what any of this means. I know that God does, but I don't. But Charlie, baby, I know you do too. I know you do. So does our Lord. And our world is filled with evil. But our God, you guys, our God is so good. He's so incredibly good. And we know that for those who love God, all things work together for good, for those who are called according to his purpose. Already I have seen the worldwide outpouring of love for my husband. I've heard the testimonies from people my husband inspired to get married, to start families, to seek out a relationship with God. It's the most important one of all. The evildoers responsible for my husband's assassination have no idea what they have done. They killed Charlie because he preached a message of patriotism, faith, and of God's merciful love. But they should all know this. If you thought that my husband's mission was powerful before, you have no idea. You have no idea what you just have unleashed across this entire country and this world. You have no idea. You have no idea the fire that you have ignited within this wife. The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry. To everyone listening tonight across America, the movement my husband built will not die. It won't. I refuse to let that happen. It will not die. All of us will refuse to let that happen. No one will ever forget my husband's name, and I will make sure of it. It will become stronger, bolder, louder, and greater than ever. My husband's mission will not end, not even for a moment. And one of Charlie's greatest talents was his ability, this phenomenal ability to choose great people to follow him. He could always find the ones who could handle any setback. And it's almost like he knew. He could see it in you. Even when you couldn't see it in yourself, he just knew. He knew you could handle it. You thought you only had 5% left, and he knew you had 15. He knew you were ready to go that extra mile even when you didn't. He always challenged people around him to work harder and to be better. He never gave up. And I love knowing that one of his mottos was never surrender. So I want to tell you that we'll never surrender. We never will. Ever. Ever. Our campus tour this fall will continue. There will be even more tours in the years to come. America Fest here in Phoenix this December will go on. It will be greater than ever. The radio and podcast show that he was so proud of,
she gonna take over,
will go on. And in a world filled with chaos, doubt, and uncertainty, my husband's voice will remain. And it will ring out louder and more clearly than ever. And his wisdom will endure. My favorite too, but my husband's favorite word in the English language was earn. He would call all of you to be people of action who earn the future America deserves. So to all of the young people who felt inspired by my husband's faith and hard work, all of you already know what Charlie would want you to do. You know. You know. If you're in high school or if you're in college, go find your local Turning Point USA chapter. Join it. Stay involved. He wants you to make a difference. And you can. You can. The movement's not going anywhere, and it will only grow stronger when you join it. If there isn't a chapter, you can't find one, then start one. There is no excuse. You can start one. And as my husband used to say in this room, every single day, if you want to get involved, the best way you can do that is going to tpusa.com. That's what he would say every day from this chair. Every single day. I watched his show every day, and he would always say, if you want to get involved, go to tpusa.com. If you're a pastor, join our movement at TPUSA Faith. And if you're a parent, I highly recommend that you come to America Fest in December. Sign up right now for that because we would love to see you. I would love to see you. Charlie would. He'll be there. He'll be there in spirit. Bring your kids, bring your family. But most important of all, if you aren't a member of a church, I beg you to join one. A Bible-believing church. Our battle is not simply a political one. Above all, it is spiritual. It is spiritual. The spiritual warfare is palpable. Charlie loved his Savior with all of his heart, and he wanted every one of you to know him too. He wanted everyone to know that if they confess the Lord Jesus Christ who rose from the dead, then they will be saved. Hear me when I say this, nobody is ever too young to know the gospel. Nobody. Nobody is ever too young to get involved with saving this beautiful country, this country my husband loved and still loves. And nobody is ever too old either. There's no age limit. I know my husband is still here. He's watching over us. I don't remember the last time I slept. I couldn't sleep last night. And Charlie, baby, Charlie, I promise I will never let your legacy die, baby. I won't. I promise I'll make Turning Point USA the biggest thing that this nation has ever seen. I promise. Oh, Charlie, I love you. I love you, baby. Rest in the arms of our Lord as he blankets you with the words I know your heart always strived to hear. Well done, my good and faithful servant. When I got home last night, Gigi, our daughter, just ran into my arms. And I talked to her and she said, Mommy, I missed you. I said, I miss you too, baby. She goes, where's Daddy? What do you tell a 3-year-old? She's 3. I said, baby, Daddy loves you so much. Don't you worry. He's on a work trip with Jesus, so he can afford your blueberry budget. And my goodness, am I so humbled to witness, Charlie, you alongside Jesus right now, doing what you always want to do, baby. Making heaven crowded, right? That's what it's all about. Making heaven crowded. I can't wait to see you again one day. Thank you all again who love my husband, who supported him, who wrote him an email every single day during his radio show. He read all of them. All of them. God bless you all. And may God bless America.
So you heard from Charlie Kirk's wife, Erica Kirk. There was a lot in there. There really was a lot in there. One thing is for sure. This is someone who is absolutely heartbroken. I'm sure going through a roller coaster ride of all kinds of different emotions, just to be completely real. There were some interesting moments. I will say that too. But as I was reacting to it, in my own mind, I realized that this is Charlie Kirk's wife. So it's not too far off from what Charlie Kirk would do if he was in that office on that microphone doing his show. I'm just going to be honest. It definitely was not off script. Does that make sense? Yes, it was weird. To me, it was a little odd. There were certain things in there I'm like, whoa, you know what I mean? But at the same time, that was very on script to what Charlie Kirk would say on his show. Does that make any sense? So with all due respect, I get it. It was not off. It was not off kilter, right? It was not off kilter. One thing is for sure, though, we're getting something where she's saying that his show's not going to stop. Turning Point is not over. It's going to breathe. They're going to breathe new life into Turning Point USA. And, of course, she said, it's going to be bigger than you've ever seen before. It's going to be bigger, stronger. The message is going to get out there even more. And I feel that she's just going to take over his spot. That's what I truly think. I think that she is going to take over what he did, and she's going to be spearheading the whole thing. She's going to be on that microphone. She's going to keep on spreading the word, speak on the talking points that he's been saying. That, in other words, his legacy did not die. it will live on, and it will live on through her. Or God knows who else they end up taking under their wing to turn into the new or the next Charlie Kirk. But remember, like I've said before, it doesn't matter how you feel about Charlie Kirk. If you like him or if you don't like him, here's one thing is for sure. Whoever ends up taking over his slot, there's a potential for that person to be much worse, much more bombastic, much more controversial than his predecessor, Charlie Kirk. So again, that's just something that we have to keep in mind. All right. I understand there's a lot of people that are very hurt right now. This is tragic for a lot of people, for sure. Understandably. And it's tragic for her. Now, here's the other thing, too. Some of y'all are like, where's her tears and all that? I mean, if you really think about it, if you've been crying nonstop for the last 48 hours, you might be dehydrated. You might be a little dehydrated. You might be a little callous, turned off. Now, I don't know why. I'm going to be honest. And I don't mean this in any disrespectful way, because she's grieving, period. Okay. But it's just interesting that I saw tears. I mean, she wasn't bawling, but were we expecting her to just be a sobbing mess up there, crumbling in front of millions of people as they watched her crumble? No. I saw some tears. I think what she said is genuine. She loved this man. That is for sure. Okay. But I'm saying this here too. It's like, at some moment, you got to try to find some level of strength when you're speaking. Has anybody ever done an obituary, or not a obituary, a eulogy, right? When you read a eulogy, you can't just be an absolute mess, right? You can't just be an absolute mess. You got to say what's being said. You got to do the speech. She was doing the speech. She was doing her best. That's what I see. Okay. I don't think that there's anything sinister, anything deeper than that. I think she was doing her best. I am, though, I will say, just in my personal opinion, I am very surprised that she went out and did this now. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I figured the speech would be done maybe after, he's been buried, after the funeral or something like that. Just give us some time for her to just process everything. But at the same time, she decided to do it now. It is what it is. I will say it was an interesting speech, or there were moments that were emotional for sure. And then there were interesting moments for sure. You know what I mean? Just in my personal opinion. But at the same time, she was there to let people know that the legacy is moving on. The legacy is not dying, and it's going to be stronger than it's ever been before. I feel like that's a very Trump statement, right? Of the likes you've never seen. So again, I feel like it was very on par. I'm just going to keep it a bean. Very on par to Charlie Kirk. It was done in the office that he does in the studio that he does his show, right next to his microphone in his chair, right? Done by his wife. The wife is going to pick up that baton and keep running with it. That's what's going to happen. Now, what's going to happen from here on out? I don't know. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens once the funeral happens, when they say their goodbyes and all that. Okay. So again, it's very, very interesting. Hold on. I'm seeing a comment here. So yeah, very, very interesting here. Hold on, let me get this. Ride said this is where it gets scary. I mean, there was a moment, but it didn't go anywhere that I thought it was going to go. I mean, or that was there was potential of it going off the rails. It didn't go off the rails. I think that she was promoting Turning Point USA. She was doing her thing, promoting and basically kind of saying like, "Hey, don't turn off that dial." She basically was doing that. If you realize that, she was basically saying, "Hey, don't turn off that dial. We're not done yet. Yes, he's gone, but we're not done. Don't turn off that. Don't change that station now. We're going to be right back with more stuff." That's basically what she said. Okay? Yeah, I mean, of course, this is how he made a living, was talking on a microphone. So of course she's sitting there saying like, "Hey, no, don't change that dial. Don't delete our apps or forget about us because we're coming right back. We're not stopping. We're not stopping." And so she's like, "Yeah, go over to our websites. Go to this, that, and the third. If you're a pastor, go to TPUSA Faith or .com/faith or whatever the heck it was, right?" She was saying all those things, promoting, because that's part of his bread and butter. That's part of her bread and butter too. I get it. I get it. So she's like, "Don't turn off that dial. Turning Point USA is coming back, and it's coming back bigger than ever. Get ready for it. Don't stop. This makes us not want to stop talking." She even said the college tours are still happening, which that's why I reacted. I was like, word? The word? When's the next one? You know what I mean? You're saying the next one you're going to have, which I'm sure is going to be soon, okay? You're doing your American comeback or whatever it's called, right? You're doing it all? Wow. Okay. Bet. Like I said, she said, "I won't back down. I'm not done." I get it. She's definitely mad. I get her being mad. But here's the thing. Doe. We need to talk about this because here's the thing. This guy got arrested, right? Tyler Robinson got arrested. We truly do not know his full motive yet. The things that he etched on those bullets, right, were an absolute cluster F. The whole notice bulge, ooey-oo, like, huh? Then the other ones that he had in there, right? Catch, hey, fascists, catch. Hey, fascists, catch, right? He said all these things, right? We know he comes from a family of MAGA supporters. Now, let me tell you something here really quick. That does not mean that just because he grew up in a family of MAGA supporters, Trump supporters, does not mean that he can't be leftist. Doesn't mean that he can't be a Democrat. Doesn't mean that he can't have left ideologies. Okay? Let's be real. Okay? But I am curious. I am still curious about this guy and what was his motive? What was the reason behind this? Why Charlie Kirk of all people, right? Real talk. Why Charlie Kirk of all people? Yeah, some weird furry stuff. I don't know, man. Like it's weird. It's weird. I don't get it. I don't get it. But then, but out of nowhere, he shows up and, you know what I mean, does what he does. Then he runs off. The things that he wrote on the ammo could be like even you know what I mean? Even the ammo, I don't know, guys. Like I said, it's so strange. It is so freaking strange. Okay. So strange. So, but here's the thing. We should not be in a place where we just start putting blame on one party or one side altogether. Okay. Like I said, evil wears many faces. There are many masks that evil wears. Let's be real. Okay. And yeah, like I said, my seriously, my heart goes out to his wife and his kids. Real talk. I can only imagine what they're going through, how they're feeling and all of that. And I get her anger. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted at all. I get her anger. I do. Wouldn't you be angry? Wouldn't you be pissed off if the love of your life got iced? And if you say no, then I don't then you don't have emotions. Right? Wouldn't you be pissed? Yeah, Allie, I'll do it again louder. Wouldn't you be pissed if the love of your life, the love of your life, the wife or the husband, father or mother of your children was just straight up iced like this? I'd be pissed. So yeah, I'd have a little bit of vitriol and a little bit of anger behind what I'm saying in a strange diplomatic kind of way. Period. So I get her being mad. I get it. Shoot. I get it. I do. So this is interesting. Long story short, this is interesting. Like I said, there were some things that she did say that was definitely divisive. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not going to deny that. Definitely were. But do we expect anything different? I mean, at least she didn't say anything super bad, like, something super extreme. But I feel like she said exactly the things that Charlie Kirk would say on the show. So like I said, it wasn't super far off. But it was not invoking violence upon people. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm trying to say. There was no like, I want everyone to go out there and take everyone out. No, she didn't say that. At least I didn't catch that. But there were other things that she did say in there that some will see as divisive, for sure. But like I said, sounds like a Charlie Kirk show to me in those moments. So again, like I said, see, this is the situation. Like, as soon as an opinion gets out there, it turns into, oh, how dare you? I'm not saying anything that bad, guys. I'm really not. Okay. I'm really not saying anything that bad. But I know some of y'all are outraged in general and you just want to be mad. But I'm telling you right now, I'm not saying anything that is that bad. Oh, what? Well, so divisive. She went into beautiful messy balls. She went into talking about God, faith, and she really did lean on the Bible, Christian faith. There's plenty of people that are watching. There are plenty of people from all over the country that are not Christian, that are good Americans. That was one of them. We'll just start there. We'll just start right there. Like I said, plenty of people who watch this show aren't Christian, aren't Catholic, all good, upstanding Americans. Okay? Just saying. But at the same time, that's what she said. Like I said before, that is stuff that you would hear from Charlie Kirk's show. So like I said, it was on par. It was on note. Sorry, but that's all it is. But there are plenty of other people on this planet that are not Christians, and they're good people. Sorry. Okay. So again, let me get into this. Carl, thank you so much. Most saddest speech I have heard. She's heartbroken. Absolutely, she's heartbroken. She is most definitely heartbroken. Yes. Yes. She is heartbroken. Okay. And I hope she finds peace. Real talk. I hope she finds peace. I really do. I really, really hope she finds peace, because that's what she needs right now. And sure, they can keep pushing forward. I get it. Because if they were to stop, that says something about her. That says something about Turning Point USA. So if they are to stop, that is not good, right? So of course they're going to push forward, right? They're going to do everything they can. They're going to do everything they can to get things moving. And no, I don't think she was inciting any type of violence, guys. Hold up. Time out. I am not saying that she was trying to incite any type of violence. Hell to the no. Not at all. I didn't hear that. Okay. There's inciting violence, and then there's other things, right? She did not, I don't think she was giving off that vibe, personally. But that's just me. All right. But I get it. People are mad. People are, trying to understand this, trying to make things happen, trying to, everybody wants to point the blame at somebody. You want to know something? Point the blame at Tyler Robinson. Hello. Point the blame at that dude. And whoever else was involved, whatever small group of people, if there's a group of people that were involved in this situation, put the blame on them. Period. Not everybody else that happens to be left-leaning. I'm seeing crazy comments online where people are losing their doggone minds saying, blame the Democrats. Not all of them. How is it all of them? How's that all of them? I know plenty of left-leaning people that did not have a conversation or don't even know the name Tyler Robinson until he pulled that trigger. Real talk. Come on, y'all. Okay? And what if it was somebody from the right? We don't know. We really don't know. So again, everybody mad, and they all see, that's the problem with our country. That is such the freaking problem with our country. Everybody wants to get so riled up, and then they want to put it selective. Chris Rock said it perfectly. Okay? Chris Rock said it perfectly. Selective outrage. Everybody wants to get angry about something for no reason. Like I said, for no reason at all. And it's like, hey, hold on. Time out. Chill the F out. Everything's going to be okay. But your anger that you have is being directed in the wrong direction, at the wrong people. The person you should be mad at is the person that they have locked up. And hopefully the other people that he was having conversations with on the dark web. Okay? Those are the people that you should be mad at. It shouldn't be every single person that you see that happens to be, wearing a Kamala Harris t-shirt or someone who's waving an LGBTQ plus flag, okay, or something of that sort, right? You can't just go, oh, annihilate them all. It's reckless. It's reckless and pointless. Stop getting mad at people for sitting there going, okay, I interpreted this as such. I see you guys out there that are enraged for some weird reason that interpreted that speech a different way. Okay. We see it differently. It's okay. I just gave you tiny little breadcrumbs of what I thought. The blanketed response is, I thought it was a good speech. I thought it was an emotional, powerful speech. And she said a lot of things that I believe she's going to do, which is she's going to keep it moving. She ain't going to stop. Okay? She ain't going to stop. And that Turning Point USA is going to be stronger and bigger than it's ever been before. And I'm very interested to see who's going to be next, right? Who's next in line, next in sitting down and sitting in his chair and speaking on his show. Who's going to spearhead all of that, right? So again, everyone needs to chill out. Truly, they do. Respectfully, because the anger shouldn't be at each other. It should be angered. The anger should be directed towards the person who pulled the trigger and anybody else who set up this whole thing for Charlie Kirk to lose his life. Because again, just because I don't agree with him, just because I don't like his thoughts, does not mean that I think he should have been erased on this planet like this. Not at all. He should have been able to live his life, see his kids grow, get married, have grandkids and all that stuff, and pass away holding the hands of people that loved him, that were surrounding his deathbed. That's how it should have been. But it didn't happen. Because of Tyler Robinson. That is it. Thank you, Detroit. I appreciate the super sticker. I do. Thank you so much. Beautiful Messy Ball. I think people are misinterpreting her statements as promotion of business rather than promoting Charlie's message of love, unity, and communication. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point too. But I think she was trying to say, some people are like, oh yeah, she out here recruiting. No, I don't think she was. I think she was saying, we're not done. It's going to be business as usual, and we're going to keep it moving. Check this stuff out. Check this stuff out. I'm still, in other words, I'm pushing his legacy on. Don't stop. Keep going over there. Keep going to his website. Keep going and do, the speeches that he has, the college events and appearances that he had planned. They're still going to happen. Like I said, they're not going to stop. Therefore, she's like, yes, go to these websites. We're not done. I saw her just trying to push the legacy forward. Just give it a nudge, because for a fact everyone's like, oh, he's gone, so I'm not going to, you know what I mean? I'm not going to support him anymore. And she's like, no. Please continue supporting. We are coming back. We ain't stopping, right? So beautiful Messy Ball, you got a good point there. Valley, thank you so much, Valley Girl. I was expecting a forgiveness speech. She loves Jesus. You know what? Honestly, I wasn't expecting that. I really wasn't. I'm going to be real. I kind of expected her. I was expecting what she said. Honestly, I don't know. I didn't expect her to be like, I forgive this man. No, not right now. Not right now. I think she needs time. Real talk. I think she needs time. It's too fresh. It just happened a few days ago. Did it not? Like I said, only 48 hours or so, a little over 48 hours since he lost his life. I'm going to be real. It would take me a good minute. It would take me more than 48 hours to be cool, calm, and collected, and finding forgiveness in my heart for somebody who did what they did. It's a very beginning. That's a very, this is still fresh in her heart. So she might need more time. Okay. She's still processing things, at least how I see it. LA woman, thank you so much. Appreciate it. Maybe she feels she's carrying on exactly, not giving up. Though for me, grieving first would be important. I agree 110%. But I also, and I'm not saying this to be calloused. Let me just repeat this. I'm not saying this to be calloused. But I do believe that she's trying to make sure the business still continues. That's it. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I think she made a statement. I loved him. I still love him. He is still part of my life. He will always be with me. Just so you guys know, don't stop. We're still here. Don't think that there's anything wrong with that, right? I don't. She's just saying, hey, the lights are still on. We have not turned off the lights. We're going to figure some things out, and we're going to be back, and we're going to keep pushing his legacy. That's what I think. Hollis, thank you so much. God was first in Charlie Kirk's life. He believed in founding fathers and Christianity, which is what the country was founded up for. America, regardless of your faith, and CK would love you. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. I mean, as far as like Charlie Kirk would love me, I don't know, right? I don't know. Long story short, like I said, there's things that I don't agree with things that he said. But at the same time, it is what it is, So yeah, I get the founding fathers thing, but at the same time, America now is more than just Christianity. There are so many other religions in this country. And that is true. That is true. Okay. But like I said, that's a whole other conversation in itself. But I see your point. Absolutely 110%. I do. Beautiful Messy Ball. Thank you so much. I don't believe in any one faith. I didn't find it divisive. Okay. I think you have an open mind, an open heart. You can accept someone's faith without feeling attacked or something being divisive. I see what you're saying. Absolutely. I get what you're saying there. How I saw it, how I heard it, I could see how some people can see that being divisive. But at the same time, like I said before, it's very on par to Charlie Kirk's legacy, to Charlie Kirk's message, and all that. It's not like she said, "Oh, everyone is." No. It's very, Christian centric. Okay. It's just an observation. Dr. Ed, what's up, man? Thank you so much for the love. I believe she cried her eyes out and loves her husband. I agree with that too. When I lost my husband, Christian Jewish tradition, 24 hours in the grave after passing. Oh man, I'm sorry. Then eulogy, she did stellar job and blessings to her. Yeah, I thought it was a solid speech. For, like I said, for the angle and the avenue that she comes from, okay, and in the vein of Charlie Kirk, I thought it was solid. And you definitely know that she's grieving. And it takes a lot of balls, like I said earlier, it takes a lot of balls to get onto that platform and say anything 48 hours after the man has lost his life. That takes a lot of guts. It really does. It really, really does. So, again, very interesting stuff. Okay. So we got other things we got to talk about. And I think that, hopefully we'll be able to come back to center. When it comes to talking about Tyler Robinson and talking about all of this Discord messages and dark online footprints that he left before he actually did this whole situation. So again, this is some very interesting stuff. And I told you, why would you be on Discord or the dark web, as they're saying here? Why would you be over there doing what you're doing if you did this all by yourself? Think about that for a second, y'all. Think about that. He was on there Googling, or not, not Googling, chatting with people, etc. Then he did what he did. Then he went back, and then he still was having conversations with people saying, how can I do X, Y, and Z? How can I go and retrieve my rifle? This is what we heard from the governor at that press conference. Pretty interesting stuff, right? So again, he was on Discord and on the dark web talking to people. So Charlie Kirk's, this monster shared messages detailing the aftermath of this unaliving. He detailed the aftermath via an online chat room. Again, why would he go online and talk about this stuff? He's got somebody else involved. Period. Why would he go online and talk about this? He either was activated by somebody, enticed, paid by something is going on here. And maybe they're all involved, right? Maybe they're all involved. Like I said, my theories are crazy. All right. But yes, Bex on YouTube. Press conference confirmed Discord messages earlier. Absolutely. But apparently he was on more than just one chat room having these conversations. So for sure he was talking to somebody about something. And maybe that person enticed him to do this thing. And then maybe those other people were there. So, of course, he was arrested. Tyler Robinson, 22 years old, after allegedly taking the life, of course, of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Okay. Authorities said he inscribed messages on these bullets referring to internet culture and anti-fascist sentiments. So that's what's weird. It's the ooey-oo. What the hell's that? I even looked it up, okay? It is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. It is the weirdest thing I have ever, like, this guy was either so high or so ate up that he just it just doesn't make sense to me, guys. It just doesn't. Yeah, the furry thing. It's weird. Like, this guy was so, I don't know. Or he wrote those things to throw people off. But here's the thing. The only person that has the answer right now is that dude. And again, I'm happy that they didn't neutralize the dude. Why? Because they're going to hopefully, he's going to start squawking. And he's going to start talking and telling the truth about what's going on. Okay? Yeah, I heard about this earlier. I read a little bit of this thing online about these groypers. I never heard of it until just recently, right? It's the sayings the groypers use. Nick Fuentes guys. That is a statement. That is a statement for sure. Now, does it go back to Nick Fuentes? I have no idea. I haven't the slightest clue. But one thing is for sure. He comes from a family of MAGA supporters. And I'm not sitting here saying that just means it's the end all be all, right? That, since his parents were MAGA, he must be MAGA. I've seen plenty of people that have MAGA parents and not be MAGA, okay? Or it is right-wing people that are not fans of MAGA. That's also a thing too. Have you not noticed that recently? That exists, guys. That does exist. That really does exist. So, when it comes to all this, the weird words that were being said, like I'm saying right now, Nick Fuentes needs to start asking. Somebody needs to start asking questions to Nick Fuentes. Then let me just keep that a bean. They definitely need to start asking Nick Fuentes some questions. If there's some sort of connection to Nick Fuentes, some people need to start asking some questions to Nick Fuentes right now. I'm not saying he's up to no good, so don't at me about that, but I'm just saying law enforcement should look into that. If that has any connection, if that's anything real, okay, that's just something interesting. Also, yes, Hollis, old man, same one who called the marathon attempt on the boom, right? The boom, boom. Also at 9/11. He's a weird one. Yes, that's what I'm trying to say. Something's up with that dude. Why was he there? Why did he go and run up to police and say, yeah, I did it. I'm the one who did it when it was a lie? You mean to tell me he wasn't talking to these people online? That Tyler was not talking to Larry David online? And it was like Furry 2069. You know what I mean? And Larry David's, talking behind this screen name, basically saying, we'll meet you, we'll 10-4, we'll be right there. As soon as you pull the trigger, we're going to start doing our thing. We will be activated, my brother. I mean, again, I could be wearing a tinfoil hat right now. I could very well be wearing a tinfoil hat right now. But at the same time, come on now. Think about it. Why would that guy be there at ground zero on the day and the moment and the minute and the second that Charlie Kirk loses his life? Make that make sense, y'all. Make it make sense. Yeah. 0 hour, I think it's 0 hour 33 or something like that. Just brainstorming. just thinking. Just ruminating. Okay. Right. Darla, I think that's Darla. I wish they would use black lettering so that we, you know what I mean, or another color font on TikTok so you can see it better. But yeah, okay. I think everybody's wearing their tinfoil hats right now. Okay. Let's be real. So again, that doesn't make sense. Dude is at the place at that time. Make that make sense. He's been charged with obstruction of justice. And then you got the other guy down the street with the little pellet rifle. Why he running around with the pellet rifle out there in the streets? Brandishing that doesn't make any sense. Okay? That just doesn't make any sense. But authorities have said he inscribed messages, which we already talked about. A roommate told officers that Tyler Robinson, discussed the engravings and his movements after the situation, the tragedy, on an online chat room. It is thought he said the website Discord, or he used the website Discord, which is also a gaming platform. Investigators probing Kirk's demise said Tyler posted messages on Discord saying he needed to retrieve a rifle from a drop point. Why would he say that out loud? All on this Discord. Let's be real. That's weird. Again, weird. Yes, Andrew, you're very right. Just really quick on YouTube, this assailant was officially on paper unaffiliated with either party, but the engravings on the cartridges, he obviously supported the left. Are we sure about that, though? Are we sure about that? People are saying Groyper stuff. These are certain things that people are saying online. Maybe some connection with followers of Nick Fuentes. I'm just saying. These are questions that need to be asked. Okay? And clearly his mind is not right. Let's be real. His mind is not right. Something happened. Maybe, I don't know, maybe smoked some really strong ganj and it just, mine just went, just snapped. I don't know. But he definitely had a absolute obsession and love of weapons from a very young age. It is, and that family is a very gun-centric family. That's without question. All right? But that's without question. Yeah, maybe it is a ganj. I don't know. Shoot. Dude did what he did, and I'm still trying to understand why he did what he did. The message is, so after he was saying this on Discord, trying to retrieve this rifle, okay, the messages also reportedly described how Tyler wrapped a rifle he is alleged to have used, okay, in a towel and stashed it in a bush. Authorities said Tyler further detailed that he used a scope and changed outfits, which he did. They apparently saw him do that. He had a different outfit showing up. He changed his outfit when he was on the roof. He did the thing on the roof. Then he hopped off. Okay. He hopped off the roof. He changed outfits when the coast was clear, jumped in his car, and drove his crazy booty back home. According to Utah Governor Spencer Cox, one of the bullets was engraved with "Notices bulge, ooey ooey. What's this?" And if you see it, type it in YouTube. You'll see the video. It's ridiculous. Okay. It's literally a meme used to troll furries and transgender people. Yeah. Ooh. Why? I don't know. He needs to explain why. Someone needs to explain why, okay? Because it doesn't make any earthly sense to me. The ooey, I don't get it. I really, really don't. So just so you know, if you don't know what furries are, okay, here they are explaining that. Furries are a community who adopt anthropomorphized, I can't say that word, animal personas, sometimes in actual content. Okay, so they like to do the hibbity dibbity dressed as animals. That's what they are. Okay, I can't really say that word too many times. The website Know Your Meme points to the phrase reportedly engraved on the bullet used online to troll furries. So ooh is intended to represent a wide-eyed face of surprise with "notices bulge," referring to a male's weed whacker. After another engraving said, "Hey fascists, catch," alongside an up arrow and a right arrow and another 3 arrows pointing downwards. The symbols should be a reference to the Iron Front, a paramilitary group set up in opposition of the Nazi Party during the Weimar Republic period in Germany. Social media users have also pointed out to a video game called Helldivers 2, a 2022 pew-pewing game, first-person game. A code to call in an airstrike in the game requires the player to hit up, right, followed by 3 down, by hitting down 3 times. So that's interesting. Another was engraved with words of a prominent Italian anti-fascist song, Bella Ciao, which is dedicated to the Italian resistance who fought against the funny mustache man. The song is also seen in a recent uptick in interest after being heavily featured in the Netflix series Money Heist, Interesting. I love that show. I need to hear it again and see what that's all about. So the final unfired casing was inscribed with, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO." So here's the thing, it just doesn't make any sense, y'all. It just doesn't. Okay. But here's the thing. Let me go back to his face here. We can be rest assured that this man is not trans. He could be a supporter of trans rights. He, of course, could be against fascist ideals. So, of course, he could very well be left-leaning like crazy, for sure. But at the same time, we'll see. But it looks like that's what it's looking like. Okay? I don't know. Maybe he is closeted. I don't know. That's the thing, Zoe or Zooey. I don't know. This person could be closeted. This person could just be someone who felt some type of way about things, tired of hearing things at home, tired of how things are going on in the country. I have no idea. And then suddenly, something pushed him over the edge to where we are now. But like I said, I'm still trying to understand why Charlie Kirk, of all people, why Charlie Kirk? Like I said, I'm still trying to understand that. It just doesn't make sense. Hold on. Hollis, I already said this. I think, yep, I already read that one. Bradley Hill, thank you so much. I think he was activated because even the guy who, tried to take out Trump, they both have similar. Yeah, you're right. You're right. They both have similar profiles. Yeah. It may be some CIA black program. That would be absolutely insane, right? But make that make sense, right? Make that make sense. Of all people, like I said, he's not affiliated with anybody. He apparently he donated. I saw from Beautiful Messy Ball. She said something along the lines of that he donated from two different to both parties at some time. Okay. But for some odd reason, this dude is suddenly hardcore left. Like I said, it's possible. It's definitely possible. Okay, with what's being said, okay, on the ammunition and all that, that's still a very strong possibility. But it could also be nothing too. So I don't know, guys. Okay. I don't know. It could also just be a decoy to throw people off. Think about that. Wouldn't it be the best crime executed if you're just giving people a whole bunch of left turns? They're thinking, oh, it's all lefty. Oh, it's all Democrats, when in actuality, it's somebody in the right that just, I don't know, maybe just didn't like Charlie Kirk, or they just wanted Charlie Kirk's slot. I know that sounds insane, but I don't know. Detroit, thank you so much. Shout out to the mods. Yes, shout out to the fantastic mods. Shout out to the fantastic mods for sure for holding it down. I know it was a little crazy and a little hairy over there for a second there. Heed, it makes sense in the Gunner world. Oh, dear God. Yeah. It does to a certain extent. It does. But I mean, I don't know if they want to go through that dude's computer. They might find some things, man. You feel me? There might be some things where you're like, whoa, what, how did you find this, bro? So I don't know. But this is some very interesting stuff. All right. Hollis, thank you so much again. I believe it's a small Discord Antifa group. He left school and got into Discord. That's weird. What is so great about... okay. It's like, I'm done with school. I'm going to Discord. It just seems weird. And we've heard other people do this before too. We heard the same thing about the guy who clipped Trump's ear, right? Same guy did the same thing. Went to Discord, went to different platforms, having conversations with people, found a group, and then found himself on the top of a roof missing Trump. It's crazy stuff, y'all. Crazy stuff. So again, like something ain't right here. Okay? Something ain't right. But they're saying here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay? Here we go. Take a look at this. Possible accomplice to Tyler Robinson. Probed as footage emerges of suspicious character after the situation. So FBI is investigating whether this monster had an accomplice with him when he actually fired a single fatal shot that took out Charlie Kirk. And again, may he rest in peace. Real talk. Rest in peace, man. Agents are looking into footage showing Robinson talking to a doorbell camera or talking into a doorbell camera about the unaliving shortly after he scampered away. That's interesting. That's interesting. Footage was turned over to the Bureau by university officials themselves from security camera footage. The Sun reported that the footage shows a man walking by the house speaking into a cell phone about the unaliving. The FBI is not clear yet whether the man on the video is Tyler or not, and the public statements given by officials have all said they believe he acted alone. At least one family lives that lives near the UVU campus was interviewed as part of the investigation. When contacted by this article here, the FBI declined to comment. Police have evacuated the area around Tyler Robinson's family home after receiving concerning information from the residents. That's also what's so interesting about this. 5-0 is at his family's home. Let me see. I don't know if they're still there anymore. But let me see. Let me see what the deal is. Okay, because that is insane too. Let's see. Yeah. So they say FBI police descend on Tyler Robinson's St. George apartment and family home. Let's take a look at this.
Live now from Washington City and Robinson's parents' home. Spencer.
I'll explain everything here in a second, okay, TikTok? Okay, that's a nothing. Yeah, make sure you got that on.
Loud and clear?
There we go.
Okay, beautiful. Thank you. Sorry, just talking with our producers. Now, one of the things we've been able to learn in just the last half an hour, and I was talking with Max Roth earlier today, is the clarification on whether this was actually where he was arrested. This address is listed on his charging documents. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean he was arrested here, but we have been reporting, and one thing that I do want to mention has happened in the last half an hour is the DA has started to look at that gray Dodge Challenger in the driveway. They actually lifted up the hoods. You could see they were dusting for prints. So this is still an active scene at this point. The FBI is combing every part of this home. The Washington City Police is here as well, making sure that there are no people either contaminating that crime scene or going in and out of the home without making sure that they're supposed to be in this area. Now, let's talk about Robinson himself. He's 22 years old. And what we know is that neighbors say he was very quiet. He was very reserved. A lot of...
Hold on. Haven't we heard that a million times before? Oh, they're very quiet, very nice neighbors. He was a really nice boy. He would just come over, just trim my hedges and just take out the trash for me. He was a really nice boy, very quiet to himself. I made him some biscuits sometimes, you know. We read the Bible together every once in a while. He was a good man, just very quiet. So I'm so surprised that he would do something like this. We hear it all the time, y'all. All the time.
People were saying he was very intelligent in school. They say he got very good grades, but he was very quiet, but non-political is the big thing. No one really talked about him being political. Now, we know from various reports from family members that he had become more political in recent years and months, even to the point where at a dinner recently, he brought up that Charlie Kirk was going to UVU and expressed that he disagreed with Charlie Kirk's views.
Now, here's the thing. I got to say this. Could it very well be, like, this is a smart kid. I mean, he's a monster, okay? But he's a smart monster. And he chose to hide under, like, fly under the radar with any kind of political affiliation. And I know a lot of people who do that too, because, you know, honestly, it's honestly bliss when you're not just going, you know, I'm MAGA or, you know, I'm left, right? It is bliss because it's frustrating out here, okay? It's frustrating out here. It's suddenly like, you know, imagine everyone being like, Tupac or Biggie. And you're like, Biggie. And they're like, oh, all right then. I ain't friends with you no more. Unsubscribe. Nah, you can lose my phone number, bro. Nah, man, Tupac for life, bro. Like, imagine that. That's what we live with every single day. But this guy was hiding in plain sight with no political affiliation whatsoever. And then out of nowhere, he comes out the gate doing this. When did they get to him? Yes, I know. This is the tinfoil hat moment. But when did they get to him? That's the ongoing question I have for all y'all. Because somebody got to him. And right now, it could be left. It could be right. I'm thinking it's left. I'm going to be real. I'm thinking it's left. But it could also be right. I don't know. Is the media going to give us the full truth? And no, I don't think it's just like college, just blaming on the college. College is indoctrinating. He dropped out of school, guys. From my understanding, he wasn't in school anymore. So it has nothing to do with that. I don't think it has anything with college. I don't think it has anything to do with college. I honestly think he met the wrong people or went online, or he's somebody who is really quiet and to himself, and somebody on Discord or some weird dark web thing was like, hey, man, how you doing? I got some really good girls, you know, doing crazy stuff in these videos. You want to see them? Okay. Then it's like, yeah, I understand. What are your thoughts on these things? They become friends online. I'm just saying. I don't think he walked into school and they're like, leftist propaganda. And he's like, I'm forever changed. Let's go. Let's get some. No, I don't think that it was. I think something else happened. Is that real? The college Antifa club kicked him out? Is that for real? Is that real? I'm just saying. I mean, have you met me? I am crazy. Ali, I'm crazy, man. Okay? But just think about it. He walked in and suddenly it's like, you know what I mean? No, I think he already had these ideals in his own mind. And maybe he went in there, it emboldened a little bit more. But then obviously, if there's more that got him, removed from school or removed from groups or something like that, then he went home. He clearly was already riled up in some sort of way. And it could very well be, and I'm not blaming, I'm not trying to put blame on anybody, but it could be something where he was frustrated with what he was seeing at home all day long. That could be it too. Okay. Yes, we always blame the chupacabra. Always. Always beautiful, messy ball. Always. Okay. But again, something weird is going on. Okay. But I don't think it's just like he walked into college and he was in these classrooms and they're just indoctrinating him with craziness in the classrooms. I think he got this on his own free time. That's what I think. That's what I truly think. But you got to remember, he was in college in a red state. In a red state. So think about that too. It'd be different if he was like in New York City. You know what I'm saying? If he's in New York City doing this thing and learning things and all that stuff, it'd be different. I could see more of that kind of stuff. If he went to like the likes of some big university in New York City, I could see the possibility of left ideologies being jammed in his face, right? But he was in a college in Utah, a very red state. I want to remind you that too. They were in a red state in a red city. This is a white male who pulled the trigger on a white male. This is not like they were in Detroit. They definitely weren't in Memphis, and they for damn sure weren't in Chicago doing all this. And this kid was born and raised in that area. Now, it could be a thing where he said, hey, I'm sick and tired of all this BS. I'm tired of hearing my mom and dad keep talking to me about how great MAGA is. That could be it too. You sprinkle a little mental health issues in there as well, and you got a radicalized kid. Just saying. So again, red town, red state, around MAGA supporters all day long. I don't know. He's getting whatever he's getting online, or he's getting from friends or people that he rocks with, but it's most definitely something online. He is talking online to these people. He is reaching out to them on Discord. He's doing all the clickety clacketing because you know for a fact this is a kid who probably stayed to himself for the most part, was on his computer all day long, whacking and searching things and chatting it up online. Okay. No, I'm not. No, there's no excuse for any of this. Are you kidding me? I'm not making excuses for this dude. Hell no. This dude is he better get exactly what he deserves. All right. But I'm telling you right now, this is somebody who is from what I'm gathering right now, me just speculating. All right. This is somebody who has definitely been like a recluse, staying with himself and finding his friends online. That's where he's finding his friends, online. Not going out there and, venturing out and trying to be part of society. That's just what I think. Now, again, I could be wrong. We will find out, I'm sure, because he's going to start talking. They're going to interrogate the hell out of him from the time he got arrested, last night till, past this weekend. They're going to be going in on this mother lover. Trust. And hopefully he starts squawking. And hopefully they do some reverse math and they catch the other guys that he was talking to online. Because those guys, I believe, are the accomplices. That's what I think. How would he know to go to that roof, to that ledge of that building, take aim at that area? How would he know? How would he know? He was 3-4 hour drive away from the actual college. How would he know if he didn't get a chance to really scope the place out beforehand? Remember the guy who actually tried to take a piece of Trump's ear? Remember that mother lover? He showed up a little bit before and flew a drone around. He was talking to somebody online, but we never heard anything else from him about him talking to somebody online. He was droning. And then he goes, "Oh, I'm gonna sit right there. That's perfect." And then he moved up there. He didn't have any time to do any full-on recon work. That's what he did before a few hours before he actually went up on top of that slopey roof, right? And took aim at Trump, taking a piece of his ear. Strange, right? Strange. So now you got this situation. He shows up to this specific building, goes up to the top of that building on the roof, ready to go, knows exactly where to go, knows exactly where to aim. Was there any recon work? Think about that. My shepherd pie, I'll be real. I know that's an argument that a lot of people are saying right now. Okay? I feel like he had an opinion. Some people didn't like it. Some people loved it. He should not have lost his life. Sorry. He should not have. I don't think this is a thing like, it was coming to him. We all have opinions. Imagine going up and hanging out and stating your opinion and just getting iced in front of your friends and family. Would you think that's fair? Would it be karma coming for you? Just because you said something that may be disagreeable? And instead of somebody rebutting, reacting with words and knowledge to maybe change your mind, they respond with a bullet? Bro, that's crazy. That's crazy, yo. That's crazy. That's crazy and dangerous. And it shows exactly where we are as a country, which is depressing, sad, and effed up. Real talk, really effed up. You saw the woman. You saw his wife. She's grieving. She didn't deserve that. She didn't deserve that at all. Like I said, it doesn't matter what you think of her speech, what she said, if it's divisive or not, or anything like that. Let's just put it all on the side. This is still a woman that lost the love of her life. Real talk. Because he just talked on a microphone. I know some of y'all gonna be like, it was more than just talking on a microphone. I get it, but he was still talking on the microphone. Shows us that the voice is very strong. But at the same time, these bullets should not have had his name on them. That's what I think. I really think that. Like I said, we need to be better. We do. Let me get back to this video. I'm telling you right now, he was online. He was probably, whacking, oiling up his weed whacker, using that Astroglide and that baby oil. Okay, way too much on his computer. Okay, straight up gooning. Okay, and then he found some people online, and he became friends with them. And he said, "F it, my friendship's over here. I am good. I don't need humans. My friendship is on this screen. They understand me." And yeah, this man was definitely not in his right mind. If he's sitting there just lathering himself with baby oil and Astroglide, losing his religion right next to his computer all day, every day, yeah, that's somebody that's not right in the brain. Sorry, not sorry. Okay? And then somebody messaged him, hey, man, what's up, man? I got some new stuff. You want to check this stuff out? Now we're friendly. You like that video? That was dope, right? Crazy. So tell me about your, your political affiliation. Yeah, man. F them too, bro. Yeah, I feel you, homie. This is what I'm got to say about this, that, and the third. I'm just telling you. Yeah, bing bong. I'm just saying. I know that sounds crazy, but that's happened a million times already. They go to these chat forums like, if the police, whatever the hell it may be, and then they find you. Those guys circle around and they're like, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Sup, man? Tyler Robeson. What's up? T. Robitussin. What's up, man? What's your real name, though, man? Tyler. I definitely appreciate your energy, bro. I feel you on that same stuff, bro. Seriously, it starts with a little conversation. I'm being real. I'm not being too much. This is real. This is real talk. This is how they do it. They try to level with you. They try to say, oh, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, F the system or whatever the hell it is. And then they get you and they just drag you in. I may sound crazy, but it's true. That's how it starts. Okay, yeah, I know. I was saying his screen name is T. Robitussin. You know what I mean? But at the same time, you get it. You get what I'm saying. Forget you. You don't need to understand me. I understand me. Okay. I'm kidding. Just hop on the crazy train. It's a lot of fun. It's bumpy sometimes, but it's fun.
Now, one other thing that I do want to mention is at first he did go to Utah State University. He never attended UVU where the shooting occurred, but he did go to Utah State for one semester. Most recently, he's been at Dixie Technical College.
So he dropped out of the college that he was at for with his scholarship. So how bad were you doing at school? So much that you dropped out of the school that you had the scholarship at to go to a technical college. And he's got brains too. This is not a dumb kid. This is a smart kid. And he screwed it up. Maybe from, I don't know. Like I said, maybe he's, you know what I mean? Mary Jane. You know what I mean? I don't know. But something ain't right with this guy.
Across town here in St. George. And that is where he was studying electrical. He was getting his electrical apprenticeship program, and the college confirmed that to us today. Now, I talked to a fellow classmate of his who just graduated and says that he actually took classes with Robinson, said he was very quiet, but this classmate was shocked to hear the news.
It's just been a shock ever since I found out about the incident. And then I heard that he's from St. George, and I'm like, man, that's crazy. And then I see a picture of him and I'm like, I know this guy. I've seen him. I'm pretty sure I went to school with him. And then talking with other classmates, realizing, yeah, like we for sure went to school with him. And I remember where he sat in comparison to me and seeing him every day. From what I remember, he sat by himself in the back of the class. So I don't remember everyone ever sitting next to him.
We also were able to get these photos. These are from a yearbook that he was in from Pineview High School. You could see him pictured here in various pages in that yearbook. This was actually sent in by a viewer of Fox 13 who was watching on and saw the news come out. Obviously, this is a very dynamic situation, changing. We're learning new details, seeing new things come up as we're here on scene, seeing the FBI go through different parts of this home. So we're going to continue to stay out here, continue to talk to people, and bring you the latest information as we learn it. But for now, live in Washington.
Yeah, this is like I said, just absolutely crazy.
Say they know Tyler Robinson.
I'm at an apartment complex just off River Road in St. George, where the Highway Patrol and other police agencies have cordoned off an area of these apartments. The FBI is also on the scene. Neighbors tell us that this apartment belongs to the suspect in the Charlie Kirk shooting. A New York Times reporter and I showed a picture of Tyler Robinson, the sixth grader Ollie Holt, and his mom, who live in the complex.
The face is exactly the same. I saw him. He was acting kind of nervous and scared. So I asked him, and he said he didn't have anything for me to do. So then I went to other doors.
Ollie said he's scared, knowing that he talked with a suspect just last week. He kept saying how he remembered him being nervous. Ollie's mother, Shelby, told me she has lived in the complex for a year and her boyfriend's been here for 2 years. I talked with her boyfriend, Jesse Riley, on the phone. He said he knows the suspect was gone because his gray Dodge Challenger wasn't around in the last few days and it was easier to park. Authorities say Robinson was seen leaving the area of the Utah Valley University shooting in a gray Dodge Challenger. And such a car was seen earlier in the day in front of the Washington City home identified as his parents. Other neighbors I talked to said they saw a person they said matched Robinson's description entering and leaving the apartment, but had little interaction. They say several students from Dixie Tech live in the complex. That school announced earlier in the day that the suspect attended there.
So, I am kind of curious to see what they have found in the area, because that is some crazy stuff. Let's just be real. The fact that they went, surrounded the house, did all that. So I am kind of curious about what's to come of that. But I guess we're going to have to wait and find out a little bit more information about that too. Allie, thank you so much. Social media has destroyed the very fabric that built this country. I mean, I think that there's been positive and negatives to it. I see more positives than I do see negatives. But yes, it is a lot easier for bad people to connect with other bad people. I think it is a lot easier for bad people to connect with influential people, if that makes any sense. Easily influenced individuals. Yes, the internet is definitely terrible with that. But at the same time, I will say this too. You have to look for it to find it. That's what I think too. It's not like you go... It's not like you go and you go to some Instagram page and suddenly, you know what I mean, you're easily able to find those groups of people that are talking in that way. I think it takes some serious focus, some serious dedication to find those types of groups. So again, if we're not looking for it, we won't find it. But if we're looking for it, we will definitely find it. Okay. Yes, and I agree, NB, you got to use social media responsibility as well. You can't just be out here doing whatever. Because again, like I said, it can get really crazy out there. There are plenty of crazy people out there for sure. Okay. And there's a lot of people that are dealing with a lot of mental health issues for sure as well. Okay. And now we got this situation. And we still don't know why this went down, why it went the way it went. And I feel that we're only going to get more information as time goes on, because this guy's alive and he's been arrested. And that's good news, because that hopefully is a situation where they're able to get these people and bring more people into custody, because there's more to this. I believe there's way more to this than what we've seen so far. Anyway, guys, that is the show. I appreciate all y'all for being here. It really means a lot. Thank you so very much. Thank you so much for tuning in, being a part of the show, being a part of the conversation. Really means a lot. Obviously, there's going to be a lot more information. The funeral is this weekend as well. I don't know what time, but I think I am going to be watching that, because honestly, real talk, may this guy really rest in peace. It's been a crazy week, and there's been a lot of sadness this week. We need to find ways to be better to each other. We need to find ways to be better with each other. Real talk. And find better ways to communicate. A lot of people choose danger rather than love. It's sad. But please do me a favor before we head out, okay? Before we head out, hit that like button down below, please and thank you. Please and thank you. That'd be greatly appreciated. Crush it, do what it do. Hit that reaction button if you're watching on other platforms. If you are watching on these other platforms, please make sure you follow. Please and thank you. Okay? Don't forget to subscribe here on my YouTube channel. Check out my other channels as well, the Pascal Show Clips and Pascal Raw. If you can subscribe over there as well, that'd be greatly appreciated. Hit that notification bell, set it to all so you know whenever I go live, whenever I upload, because it's random or it's breaking news as of late. All right? Hit that notification bell. Check out that join button down below. Become a member. Check out my Patreon. And, of course, check out PascalMerch.com. All right? PascalMerch.com. We got some really great stuff over there. Okay, guys? Anyway, guys, it is time to get going. Much love to you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in and hearing me out. And we'll be talking here very, very soon. Stay safe out there. The streets be wilding, and they might be wilding this weekend. So keep your head on the swivel and stay safe. Be good to yourselves. Be good to one another. This is the Pascal Show. Bye.